What's up, everyone? I'm Rhaven. If you're new here, welcome. You are now tuned in to Time with Rhay. So if you're new here, I'll let you know that I started CRNA School 1 month ago. My life has drastically changed in this last month. So let me just tell you about what's going on right now. Honestly, I made a rookie mistake already in CRNA School. So learn from my mistakes, guys, and just stay tuned. I was not ready. Man, okay, so a lot of people who have been through CRNA School or who are in the process of going through CRNA School right now told me about CRNA School. They warned me how crazy it's gonna be, how my life's gonna change, and how things are gonna just be so different. I'm not gonna have time for myself or anything else. I'm gonna be studying all the time. And I was just like, I can handle it. I'm smart, and you're gonna be watching this video right now, and I'm gonna tell you about my experience, and you're gonna be saying the same thing, like, my experience might not be like hers. I'm pretty smart. I can handle high stress situations. I can balance well. I'm gonna be able to breeze through this. It's not that hard. Trust me, you're gonna be thinking that. A lot of people do it. I did that. I'm one of those people. I'm guilty, and now I'm like, wow. But I feel like it's something that you definitely have to be in to really understand. So first of all, I'm going to just tell you about my classes that I'm taking. I'm taking anatomy and physiology. I'm taking advanced pharmacology. I'm taking advanced health assessment. I'm taking principles of anesthesia. And I'm taking a theory class. So I'm taking 5 classes this semester. Full-time, 19 credits this semester. They really pack on this semester. They want us to be super prepared for a clinical in our program. We start in clinicals in January. So it's just information overload. Like the first day of school, we had anatomy and physiology for 3 hours straight, lecture for 3 hours straight. We have that class, by the way, 3 times a week for 3 hours. And literally, our professor lectures for 3 hours straight, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. We started off with a lecture on the back, and by the end of that first day, I knew about all the back muscles, the superficial muscles, the deep muscles of the back, also the nerves that innervate those muscles, what those muscles do, the blood supplies to those muscles. I mean, and the list goes on. That was just day 1. By the first week, I think we already had started on like the thorax, heart, lungs, like it was nonstop. We just actually had our first exam in anatomy and physiology, and I made a rookie mistake already. I went ahead and blew off anatomy and physiology for a little because I have my other classes. We had exams first in those 2 classes, advanced pharmacology and principles of anesthesia. So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna study for anatomy and physiology every day like I've been. I'm gonna kind of like put it to the side so I can study and focus for pharm, focus for principles of anesthesia. And when I came back to anatomy the next week after those 2 exams were done, I had forgotten so many things. I tried to quiz myself with one of my classmates, and I realized how much I forgot. And I mean, I was on it. First week or 2, I was like telling her all the muscles, telling her everything about cardiac and about pulmonary and all these things. And then after that, I was just like, I forgot, like, because you know what? It's all repetition, and you have to keep repeating it. Every day you have to look at these things. So I made the mistake of not doing that. And that was my first mistake, and I'll never make it again because I really kicked me in the booty when I had to go and study for this test actually that I had this past week. And I had an anatomy test, anatomy and physiology test, and I had to go back, relearn certain things, and kind of cram everything into my head because I was not retaining it because I was not studying it every day like I should have been. It's a commitment. Like studying for CRNA School is not like studying, for me, it's definitely not like studying for when I was doing my undergrad and nursing. Like, you have to study every day. You have to review certain concepts. Even if it's not everything you've learned in that class, you have to review certain things every day to keep you on your toes. Even just a little bit at a time, you have to do that. If not, you're gonna end up having to relearn things because the first semester is information overload. You will never learn this much at one time until you get into this program. Like, you wouldn't be surprised how much your brain could even handle. The first week, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to cry. I actually did shed a few tears by the second week. I was just like, I don't know. I made a mistake. I don't know if I made the right choice. I had a great life as an RN. You know, I was making decent money. I was able to travel and have a life. I had friends. I was doing well for myself. Like, why am I torturing myself? But then I brought myself back because this is something that I always wanted to do. It's been a dream of mine. But you know, you're gonna have those moments because you literally are in your books every single day. Every day. I mean, for me right now, anatomy and physiology is like the bane of my existence because I feel like it's just so voluminous and it's a lot of things, a lot of information, and a lot of things that do apply to our practice, but a lot of things that are like extra and may not apply directly. So I feel like it's harder for me to want to learn it or retain it. But I have to get through it, right? And I have to do well in it because I want to know what I'm doing, and the things that are important, I want to know them. And these things are probably going to show up on our boards, you know, certain things in that class. So it's like I have to retain the information. So it's just like I got to get through it. My other classes actually aren't terrible. Principles of anesthesia is really interesting. You know, it's like definitely like all the basics you'll know. We'll learn about intubating, positioning, and all these things it's really basic principles that you need to know in order to even go into the OR and start a case, you know. So like I said, they want us to be really prepared for when we start clinical in January. Pharmacology I actually enjoy because again, it's something that I can really apply, and I need to really know. You gotta know your drugs as an anesthetist. You cannot go into the OR not knowing what drugs you're pushing. Even as a student, you can't walk in there and say, I'm gonna do this, and this, and not even know about the drug that you want to give the patient, even if it's not your patient because you're precepting. Like, so you have to really be on it. I think that's my motivation for like studying for those courses. They're not easy, but they're not hard because I feel like the repetition is key. So I study a lot for those courses. So like I said, CRNA school is about studying sometimes 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day is studying nonstop. Like sometimes my family and friends are like, I mean, are you ever gonna just have free time? Like, can you like talk to me? And I'm like, honestly, like I'll talk to you for like 5 minutes and I gotta go. You know, like I really am trying to find that balance between like outside life and school life. And it's hard. It's not easy because, you know, like you want to do well. You want to like succeed in all your classes, and you don't really have time to fall behind. That's another thing. If you fall behind in something, it's going to be hard playing catch up because you're learning something new every day. It's not like, you know, you learn something and then you review it the next day. Like, no, you learn something new every single day while you're in CRNA school. It's definitely information overload, and it's really learning how to train your brain to like really get the concept of I have to study and I have to learn, I have to study and I have to learn, I have to study, I have to grasp this concept. It's training your brain to retain information, which actually my brain has gotten better at doing it. It's even in this month, like I realized that I'm really able to like put information together and grasp concepts and put things that I learned in separate classes together because it's all starting to click for me. So I think it's just so important that I keep doing that. Every class has its own challenges and every person has their own challenge. So like anatomy and physiology might be like my challenge, but somebody else might feel like pharmacology is hard or principles of anesthesia is hard. So it's like, the thing about it is that everyone learns differently. The graduate level of learning is so different than undergrad. Like, it's a lot of self-studying, you know, self-learning. You have to go home and read. You can't just depend on what the professor says. Sometimes they're not able to get through certain things, or they're not able to get through things as thoroughly as you would like them to. So you have to go ahead and go home and look at books. I'm a stickler for books. A lot of my classmates don't get books. They use ebooks. I really can't use ebooks to study. I can look at them for reference, but I like a book. I like paper. I have an iPad. Everyone uses an iPad. Everyone takes notes on their iPad. I do that in school, but when I'm at home and I'm studying, I have a paper, like a notebook. I have pens. Like, I actually have to do that. That might be old school now because like everyone's so technology based and everything's about just having like everything at your fingertips. But I need to have like a pen, pieces of paper, a notebook, textbooks. Like, I have my textbooks over here right now. And that's how I learn. And I think that's the most important thing that you should know, like when you go into whatever graduate program you're going into, or even undergrad, how you learn. You know, it doesn't have to be how everyone else learns, and whatever works for you works for you. At the end of the day, you know, they're not taking the test for you. You're doing what you got to do to make sure that you succeed. They're not going to be there holding your hand when you're, you know, pushing drugs in the OR. You know, you have to know things for yourself. And however you learn, no matter what people say, if you want to get the book, get the book. If you want to buy notebooks and pens, get that. If you want to highlight and do whatever you got to do, do that, you know? I have a coloring book for anatomy. I color the pictures and identify body parts. That helps me. It's therapeutic, and it helps me in a fun way to learn my anatomy. So you know what? You just gotta do what works for you and only you, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be the provider, not you and your classmates, you know? And don't get me wrong, my classmates are great, which I actually love because they're so amazing. I love having them. It's 27 of us. We have like such a great bond. In this first month, we've like actually grown so close. You know, we stress together, we de-stress together. After our first 2 exams, we went out together and just like hung out and like just like didn't talk about school. We're just like relaxing in the neighborhood. People brought their dogs. We were all just like having a good time. And actually yesterday, after our first anatomy exam, we all like popped champagne and it was fun. You know, it's nice to be able to like de-stress people that you know are having the same stresses as you, like, you know. And it's like, all right, we see everybody's able to let their hair down for a second and just like enjoy this moment. And I remember I posted the picture on Instagram and some people were like, oh, you guys are having so much fun. I'm like, you know, we're stressing just like everyone else in every other CRNA program, but at the end of the day, it's like you gotta make the best of the situation. It's 2 or 3 years of your life. You can't let it all go to waste by stressing. I mean, you have to still enjoy yourself somehow, some way. You know, obviously it's not going to be as much as you want to be, but make the best of it. Make friends, form a union. We are like a family, like I said. We have group chats. We talk to each other. If somebody needs help with something, we can ask each other. We send help with like studying. We send ways that we've learned things to help other people learn things better. Like we really, really try to help each other and make each other all strong as one cohort. We're like one family, and I love that about us. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am often stressed. As much as I try not to stress, I'm often stressed, whether it be about doing well or just having enough time to study and have a life and still do things that I need to do, like essential things like cook, you know. And like I said, some tears have been shed already, but I will say, like, to have the nice support from my classmates is so reassuring, and it really helps my stress. And then my family is amazing, my family and my friends. I'm actually all in California. My whole family is in New York, so that's another added stress on top of this program, because it's like I'm not even somewhere where I could just go home and be around people that I love and that, you know, just make me happy. But they're always there to support me, even through this time difference. You know, they're super supportive. My best friend already has been here twice. My other best friends and other friends in general, they're all there to talk to me and just, you know, encourage me and make me laugh and bring up memories that make me happy and remind me that, like, you know, life is amazing and that this is not gonna last forever. It's 2 years. It's 2 years that it's gonna, you know, be difficult. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be challenging. I'm gonna be stressed. I'm not gonna always have the best days. I'm not gonna always understand things right away. You know, I'm gonna miss my family, but the fact that I have people there supporting me is so amazing. So with that being said, like I said, I'm trying to have a nice, healthy balance, and I've been really, really good, I feel like, at having that balance. I'm typically the girl that's like, I need to get an A in everything. I need to study hard until I know that I'm gonna get an A. I know that. And they stress to us so much in this program that, like, stop just trying to get A. Just study to be a great provider, you know? And if you miss a question, it's fine. If you're a great provider, that's more important than being an A student. You know, being book smart is way less important than being a great nurse anesthetist, you know? So I just keep that in my mind, you know, like, stop stressing over things that I miss and just learn from it. And whatever you know, fail at or don't do as well at, you just grow from it and you move on, you know? You know, we didn't even start clinicals, and they already let us know, like, when you get to clinical, you're gonna fail a million times. You're gonna miss the intubation a million times. You're gonna be intubating the esophagus a million times. You know, like, you're gonna do all these things. You're gonna forget to turn the vent on. You're gonna, you know, you're gonna fail a test. You might, a class, you might get a C. You know, all these things, like, they're preparing us to, like, be okay with not being okay, like, you know, with not having everything right. You know, usually people that are going to CRNA school are like super A type personalities, like perfectionists, And they're just letting us know, like, it's okay to mess up. It's okay. This is where you learn. This is the point of going through this program, is to mess up so that you can learn from it, so that when you're finished, you can be a great provider. So I'm excited about, you know, the rest of this semester and getting through. I'm sure that along the way, I'm gonna learn different tricks and tips for studying better and being a better student. And because I haven't been in school since 2014, so I'm gonna bring you guys along on this journey as I continue to do so. Please let me know if you want to hear about anything in particular. Feel free to just reach out to me. Make sure you guys subscribe, like my video, subscribe, share, turn your notifications on so that you can actually get notifications for my videos, so that you can actually see when I post so you won't miss anything. And if you're in CRNA school or thinking about going, I just want to encourage you, because I know what you're going through, whether it's applying or being in school. And I just want to say that, like, we're in this together. And thanks for watching, guys.